decide to do, what kind of challenges were you facing before the reset ever even happened? What kind of challenges do you face?
Okay, so I work a lot with gas and oil, and I'm constantly drinking that in. And so it makes a difference. And Claudia has noticed that my color is real bad. So my stomach, I have stomach issues. I have belly issues. So a variety of things. And I'm always tired. Tired, but absolutely exhausted. So Claudia thought that I should do the reset. I'm not that I had a whole lot to say about it, because she said, you're going to do this, and that's fine. I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do.
I have been really afraid, just because gut issues have been so bad. It's been really bad. And so by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, he's ready to go to bed. No dinner. His appetite was suffering. And it was his color was gray. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what we need, is a loved one to step up and say, look, we got to do something here, right? So, okay. So you're doing this reset. So I'm curious now, day 12, what kind of changes are you noticing? I mean, are you feeling different? Have you seen an improvement?
Well, quite frankly, I feel like you girls recognize things that are changing in your bodies better than I do, for sure. So I don't necessarily recognize a whole bunch of things until Claudia starts pointing them out to me. And I didn't even think about it, but I haven't had one stomach issue since I started. So that's been good.
That's because of your question, Kim, because I didn't even know that. So I read him the questions you wanted to ask him. And he said, oh, I haven't had a belly issue since I started the Ningxia reset. And I wanted to punch him, because I was like, really? You didn't share that with me? Go ahead.
I've been through some traumatic stuff like a week and a half ago, and I still have been very positive and very up, and I've had a lot of energy. I even had a stranger tell me on Thursday, wow, you have a lot of energy. And I didn't even think about it. It didn't even occur to me. And I was like, oh, I guess I do. And I think my morale has been up. I've been a little, happier, even though I'm going through something that's ridiculous.
Right.
But I'm getting through it, and I'm brighter.
And he's sleeping good. So usually when he's stressed, he can't sleep, but he has been sleeping like a dead person.
And you know what? That's always good, because if we're sleeping better, then sometimes some of these other things are naturally going to follow along and start improving as well. So that's great. That's great. I wanted to comment on something you said there about morale, because that has been the biggest surprise to me. I mean, like you, Mark, we've been drinking Ningxia Red. We have our 1 or 2 ounces a day most of the time. We try to anyway, right? But upping that and drinking more water and the exercise and eating better, I've noticed that, like you, I've had a really rough week this week with grief and things like that. And I still deal with that, but I'm not as emotionally down as I would typically be. And I know it's because of doing this reset. I have no doubt.
I want to tell you something. I feel like I feel like you look brighter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I feel better.
I've been showing Mark your face every day, because you've always been pretty, but he's like, she's glowing. She's glowing. Is that a sparkle? And I said, no, that's Kim. That's Kim. I've been doing, like Mark doing the Ningxia, and I know you're going to ask him more questions, but he hasn't been doing it as a diet. He hasn't been changing his diet. There's certain things he's not doing what you're doing, and yet he's still reaping benefits.
Yeah. See, and that's the key. He's doing, he's fitting it to him at this point, and honestly, that's better, I think, in the long run for most of us, because if we jump headlong into something and make drastic changes, we may not stick to the 2 weeks. So start with what we're comfortable with, and that leads me to my next question then. Would you do it again, and, the reset, and would you recommend it to someone?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you can do something for your health, anytime you can do something to make yourself better, especially, everybody sells these big diets, and you got to change your whole lifestyle, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to do that. This is simple. This is easy. It makes you 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Whether it's where you're taking 2 packs, or what I'm doing now, I'm just taking 1 pack 3 times a day.
Right.
It's a simple routine to make a huge difference in your life.
And we're getting, next month is going to be my turn, and our girls is going to do it. But Mark has been recommending it to anybody who's been going through the blues, anybody that has gut issues, anybody that wants to see a difference with their mood, with their mental attitude.
Right.
And this gets big because it's not just for people in our age group.
Right.
My girls are young, and I can't wait to see what it's going to do for them.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting to see some young ones like that do it for sure. So I wanted to mention that to everyone that's watching. Anyone can start anytime. Grab your Ningxia Red Reset Kit, simple, easy, and through the end of the month, it's 20% off. So make sure you reach out to me or Claudia for the code and a link. But as a group, if you like the encouragement, and a lot of times we do better if we're with a community and we have support.